Good evening, everyone. This is Shoop Sports back with another fantastic video this week, and we're giving it to you fast and we're giving it to you quick. These are your NFL picks for week number 2 in 10 minutes or less. Same deal as last week. We're going to go for 4 big plays of the week. We're going to put 3 units each on these, or 4 small plays, a unit each, and then we're going to ignore the other 8 games because if we don't have a strong feeling about the play, we ain't buying it. So before we go into our picks for this past week, let's go over last week. Last week, we did pretty okay, but it could have been a lot better. So our top plays, we went 2-1-1. We got 2 nice wins in the Rams, who took care of business at home against the Bears. The Broncos took care of business against the Giants. We lost with the Jets. They lost by 5, but the spread dwindled to about 4.5. So if you're like me, you lost by just this amount. Even worse, if you had the 49ers, who we got as 8-point favorites. So if you got a 7.5-point favorite, congratulations. If you got them at 8.5, I am so sorry. They blew a 28-point lead, an easy cover. So many more people should have made more money off that, but it is what it is. The 4 small plays, we won with Arizona, but lost with Kansas City, New England, and we also got the draw with the 8 for Tampa Bay. So that was 1-2-1. So 3-3-2. Let's do a little better this week, all right? So here we go, 16 games, 10 minutes. First play that I like this week is Pittsburgh -5.5 at home against Las Vegas. What we're looking for this week is overreactions from week 2. And one of these overreactions is the Raiders can hang with team like the Steelers. Now, obviously, a 6-point spread or a 2.5 points over 3 points implies that Pittsburgh's a better team, but I think they're a lot better than that. And John Gruden historically has a bad record on East Coast 1 p.m. games. He's like 3-8 or something like that. And Pittsburgh's defense is dominant, and the Raiders had a lot of motivation on Monday night and running into a Ravens team that was very hurt. Steelers all the way in this one. I like San Francisco again, -3.5 on the road against Philly. This spread is way too low. The 49ers are not getting enough credit, and this is again an overreaction to what the Eagles did to what was our worst team in the league in the Falcons. They're going to come back down to earth this week. Sure, Jalen Hurts looked really good. Can he do that consistently and against a defense like the Niners? I'm not sure. Niners all the way here. Arizona, -3.5 at home. I love Arizona this year. They're playing the Vikings. The Vikings just lost to the Bengals of all teams, and their defense and offensive line are in shambles. Did you see what Chandler Jones did this past week? Tennessee's offensive line? Who's going to block him on Minnesota? Nobody. Arizona all the way is this one. Our last big play. Speaking of Tennessee, so we like to go with 1 underdog in our big plays, and they're a 5-point underdog at Seattle. Now, I'd say these teams are pretty even. Now, I know we don't have it that way in our power rankings, but for a 5-point spread, both these offenses can light it up, and people are seeing a performance against Arizona, and people are like, oh God, this Tennessee team is bad. A lot of people are going to hop on Seattle because they think it's going to be a blowout. And Seattle's defense is definitely very questionable. I'm not sure if Indianapolis' offensive line was any good. I think that's why Seattle suddenly lit up for a bunch of sacks that day. But I think Tennessee rebounds in this one. They're too well coached and too talented not to. Okay. 4 small plays that we also like, and I'll even mention why I don't like them as big plays. So Denver -6 at Jacksonville. I think this is a very appropriately priced spread. I think the public is recognizing that Jacksonville is pretty horrible, and Denver might better than we think. I don't really see a home field advantage for Jacksonville, or I don't see how Trevor Lawrence can throw on this defense. I think -6 is a good number. We do worry about backdoor cover, and the Broncos not putting up a lot of points, but their defense should get the job done. So -6 there. Another favorite, which is a little bit of an overreaction, is Buffalo minus 3.5 at Miami. This is a division matchup, but people are going to be also down on the Bills. The Bills looked like trash against the Steelers, and they're going up against another good defense. But this is another team that is way too talented, and we're going to be motivated not to go 0-2. And Josh Allen, he's got to find it one of these weeks. I believe this could be the week he finds it, and only getting 3.5 points for one of the best offenses that we saw last year. Give that to me, but only for a small amount. I could see Miami maybe covering the spread by like a field goal, but Buffalo's, they need to win this game. Otherwise, they're 2 games back. Washington minus 3 at home against the Giants, and I get why it's minus 3. We don't know what Taylor Heineke's going to look like, but at the same time, Heineke looked pretty good last year, and before this, it was like a 6-point spread of Fitzpatrick. You're not telling me that Fitzpatrick is that much better than Heineke, and the Giants are an absolute mess. We have them as our second worst team in the league, and it doesn't even look like Saquon's going to be a full go. Looks like Evan Ingram's still going to be out. How are they going to move the ball against one of the best defenses in the NFL? I don't see it happening. So Washington minus 3. I think that'll be a good cover. Plus, usually the better teams win on Thursday. Last pick. Another underdog that we like is Carolina plus 3.5 at home against New Orleans. And we were kind of down on New Orleans entering the year. And then they have this big upset victory, winning by 35 points. And now they're worthy of being a 3.5 point favorite on the road. We know Sam Darnold, he's not that great, but could the Saints have just taken advantage of a team that just was not motivated to get up that game? I think 3.5 points on the road. We just got to look at, what does Vegas want us to think? They want us to look at the spread and say, like, only 3.5 points? Well, look at the Panthers. They look like trash against the Jets. But a lot can change week to week. And Jameis Winston, he looked like God last week. What if his defense doesn't step up the way it did? I think I like the Panthers laying 3.5 at home, because if this was week 1, I think that the Panthers would be a 2.5 point favorite at home. So we're getting good value. Okay, so those are my bets for the week, and now I'm going to go over each game why I'm not betting. And there are 3 games this week that are double-digit point spreads. We got Tampa Bay home against Atlanta, 12-point spread, too high for my liking. I think Tampa Bay easily covers this amount, but do they try and light it up? Maybe not. They already won last week. They know they can beat Atlanta. They might start sluggish, but they'll probably pull out in the end. But 12's a little rich for my liking. I was really tempted to bet Green Bay minus 11 Detroit, minus 11 at home against Detroit, because Green Bay is off the way better team by miles, but there is the off chance that they really are mailing it in. I don't want to be left on the other side of that, and we have to deal with garbage time, and we saw what happened last week. I just don't want to get burnt by Detroit again in garbage time. They might be that team this year, like the old Blake Bortles Jaguars. Cleveland minus 12.5 at home against Houston. Now, I think if I had to pick a side, I think it's more likely that Cleveland covers this big spread and that Houston is the bad team that we thought they were. But this might just end up being like one of those like time possession battles where it might be kind of close, but Houston never really has a chance because Cleveland is running the ball down the throat and not giving it back. But another spread that's too rich for my liking, and we have a lot of overreaction spreads that we can take advantage of. Other games, Kansas City at Baltimore. Kansas City is a 4-point favorite. I think that's appropriately priced. I'm just looking forward to this game. I don't really want any action on it. I just want to see these two light up the scoreboard. So no interest here. New England's a 6-point favorite on the road against the Jets. I kind of like the Jets with that number, but these are just 2 rookie quarterbacks. I'd rather side with the more experienced coach with this, and the Jets just lost their best offensive lineman, and they couldn't block anyone with him. So the Jets could be a mess this week. I don't want a part of that. The Rams at Indy. The Rams are a 3.5-point favorite, and the Rams offense looked explosive last week, but the Colts are going to be destined to avoid 0-2. I think there's never one that goes either way, but I would prefer picking the Rams to pull it out. Cincinnati at Chicago. This is a 1-point spread, and I think Chicago's the better team here, but I do not want to bet on Andy Dalton. Even if the 1-point favorite, I don't want to bet him as a favorite, period. This, number one, it's 50-50 reason. Can go either way. Another game that's kind of 50-50 to me is Dallas at LA. I think LA will win, but in terms of spread, this is another example of a potential backdoor cover we could see here with how good Dallas's offense is. And the Chargers, I think, will pull this one out, but it's going to be a shootout that could end up in overtime. It's going to be another game that's explosive in points, and I'd rather be watching from the sidelines, seeing how this one pans out. So I believe we did this in way under 10 minutes. Let's see if we left out any games. No, we did not. I'll go over and see if I forgot anything, but no, that's it. So anyway, daily fantasy video coming this Saturday. You'll want to see that because we had a great week last week. We're going to capitalize off that, and good luck to everyone this weekend. It should be a fun, exciting slate of games. This is Shoop Sports, signing out.